Hi there, welcome back to my shop. Today I'm going to show you how I put together this platter. It's made of poplar and resin. It's 13¼ inches in diameter and stands 5/8 of an inch high. I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed putting this together. Let's go get some work done, start making this platter. That's pretty much eliminated that torn grain. Just want to round this corner over, take some of these ripples out. I should be able to sand the bottom. I'm going to raise this to 1000 RPM. This appears to be a fairly solid knot. I don't want to have any tool catch on that and rip it out of there with additional material. So, see what I can find here. Well, that knot's in there pretty deeply. Well, I probably am not really at the bottom of the knot, or the top of the knot if you like. And there's only about maybe 3/16 of an inch left. Just have to keep trying to take that out of there. All right, that's pretty much disappeared. I just want to square up these two sides. Well, I'm about 1/8 of an inch thick there. Probably 3/16 up there. I think I'll call that good. I have the groove filled with grains of rice. That is so I can take that rice, measure the volume, and then I will be able to mix up resin of that amount to fill that groove with. All right, well, I learned a little bit of a lesson here, a couple of them actually. Number one, I didn't have enough to fill this groove around here, so I will have to turn this down, but that's not a big deal. I can do that. The big lesson was I should have put clear resin in here to coat the end grain specifically before I poured this in. As you can see, it really came through. In fact, where this crack was, I put masking tape on there once I noticed that it was really coming through. So it prevented it from going too far. But I have to say, I really like this color. I think that is just gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this will look like once I get it turned. Just a little bit of shine right in this area. Just keep going till I take that out. Certainly don't want to get this too thin. All right, that's taken all the shine off and leveled this out. I'm just going to work on this area here. All right, I just need to sand this whole thing. This will fit in there just fine from my vacuum chuck. So I'm going to sand this, and I'm going to go up to 400 grit and then see what Axe polish and restore paste, and his abrasive paste of course, will do for this. I think I need to put a couple of rings in the bottom here. Just a bit of decoration. I think that will be a little better. For the sanding sealer, I'm using Zinsser Seal Coat, and I've poured some in this small cup because if you've watched before, you probably know that when I pour it out of this stop-loss bag, I get it all over the place. So I'm going to use this. I'll just dip a piece of cloth in there, shop towel, and apply it. All right, I'm going to give that plenty of time to dry, and then I'll be back to put on the finish. Oh, that's done a beautiful job. And that's before I even use the polishing paste. All right, I'll do the rest of this and then I'll be back. I had neglected to sign, date, and identify the species before I put on Axe pastes, but it seems to have worked very well. I don't think it's caused any problem. So now my next step, I'm going to use Minwax Wipe-On Poly, and I'll be right back to do that. All right, I'm back. Did you miss me? So here I have the Wipe-On Poly in another one of these small cups. I'm going to apply this. I'll just turn this on at 100 RPM, nice and slow. All right, I'm anxious to see how this is going to look over top of Axe's pastes. I think it's going to be just fine. I'm going to do 3 coats of this. So I will be back after those 3 coats have all cured, and we'll take a look at how this turns out. That is absolutely gorgeous. I couldn't be happier with this. All right, I need to put the logo coin in there now. I am going to spread some denatured alcohol all the way around here to loosen up this hot glue. I will let it sit for about 5 minutes, maybe 10, while I do other things anyway. Then I'll come back to take this off. All right, let's see if this glue is ready to come off of there. Yes, it certainly is. All right, works great every time. Now I'm going to put this on with my vacuum chuck and see about turning this side. All right, I have my center mark still there, so I will use that to line this up on the vacuum chuck. Let's see if how perfectly centered this is or is not. And it is not. Good grief. All right, I'm going to take a little time to get this centered on there, and I'll be back. All right, I think I have this centered fairly well. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I'll be able to work with that, all right. So I'm going to turn on the vacuum chuck. It's going to be turning at 750 RPM using my 3/8 inch bowl gouge. And I'll just get my face shield, get ready for this, and I'll be right back. A little under 1/4 of an inch right here. All right, getting pretty thin here. Something less than 1/8 of an inch, I believe, right in there, although I'm up close to 1/4 of an inch here. I'm going to leave that to swoop down the way it does on this side. Now, because this is getting thin, it's going to tend to want to vibrate if I keep going in here further. So I'm going to sand and finish this area, or at least sand it. Then I'll come back to do this. Sanding's not going to be any different from anything else you've seen, so I won't bother recording that. I'll be back when that's finished. I am very pleased with how that turned out. As you can see, it's thin enough that the light from my phone comes through there quite obviously. So it's translucent, which is fine with me. Now I'm going to start turning the rest of this away. That's still pretty thin right there. I think I'm going to sand this area as well. And I'm very pleased with this. I'm going to get my face shield on now and continue to turn this. And I will leave the live center up here with the vacuum chuck running until I get close to there, just for that little bit of support. I have the tailstock pulled back to the point where this is not even touching, but it's close enough that if I have a problem, it might just save me. Although, of course, my tool rest is very close to here. So let's do a little turning here. In fact, I will turn this away from that edge, and we'll see just how well this vacuum chuck is going to hold. All right, it looks like it's time to pull this tailstock out of the way and finish this. All right, I'm going to sand this now, and I'll be back. Well, there it is. Now, I had considered putting a couple of rings or something in the center for decoration, but I thought that might just distract from the resin ring, and I really, really like that. And that's the end of another project. I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed putting this together. If you did like this, I hope you'll click the like button and let me know I'm doing something right. And please, if you haven't subscribed before, I hope you'll consider doing that today. Leave a comment if you have something you want to say about this. I love getting the comments, I love reading them, and I do reply to all of them. And another thing you could do for me, if you don't mind, please share this with others. So between now and next time, I hope you have a great day in your shop and be safe. Thank you for stopping in, and take good care of yourself. Bye-bye now.